Blue is the color, football is the game. We all together, and winning is our aim. So cheer us up to the sun and rain, 'cause Chelsea is our name. Yeah, at the bridge, whether sun or fine, we can shine all the times. Home or away, come and see us play. You're welcome any day. Chelsea. What an absolute phenomenon. What a class of game. What a beauty of football that we have seen in Tottenham versus Chelsea. That is just who we are. That is our identity. That is what we represent. That is what we are known for. What an absolute class by Chelsea. It was phenomenal to see. Chelsea went to the White Hart Lane to defeat Tottenham Hotspur by 1-0, courtesy of goal by João Pedro. João Pedro ended his goal drought. 8 games without a goal. Ended in a superb London derby by scoring that lone goal that gave Chelsea all 3 points. Chelsea were absolutely phenomenal. It was a beauty to watch. Man, that is what we are known for. That is what we represent. The focus, the concentration, the intensity the players put in the game was absolute top-notch. Chelsea were class. What a masterclass outing by Enzo Mareska's boys. What I saw there was just what we represent. And that is why our anthem is superb. Winning is our aim. That is our identity. That is what we represent. Watching Chelsea play last night was amazing to see Chelsea putting up such a superb performance. That was just what we were expecting each time Chelsea are going into games. That is what we hope to see. Coming from a disappointing 2-1 defeat against Sunderland last weekend, Chelsea came back in the London derby, blazing from start to finish against Thomas Frank Tottenham Hotspur. Chelsea was an absolute beauty of a game to see. From start to finish, there was no one mistake spotted from any players, not even from the goalkeeper, not even from the defenders we have been crying about. The way Robert Sanchez was picking all the set pieces from the air was so amazing. That is what we have always been wanting to see. That is what we always want to see when it comes to set pieces. Chelsea was amazing. It was amazing to see that. It was a masterclass from Chelsea. We went into the field blazing from start to finish, from the defense line to the midfield to the attacking line. Chelsea was all over Tottenham Hotspur at the White Hart Lane. It was phenomenal. It was a beauty of a game. One of the best games Chelsea have actually put up a superb performance this season. I think this performance last night by Chelsea was awesome. It was even more sparkling than what we saw against Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. Even though the game did not actually show the scoreline. Chelsea would have scored more than 5 goals if Chelsea attackers were clinical. But then, the 3 points was just what was important. I know a lot of you out there was amazed just the way I was. Seeing Enzo Mareska's selection going into that game, I was like, what is this again? And like I said in my match preview, if you didn't watch that, check my previous video. Thank you for watching. Much appreciated. Enzo Mareska put up a traditional 4-2-3-1 formation, and the fullback was Marc Cucurella and Malo Gusto. The centre-back pairing was Trevor Chalobah and Wesley Fofana. The midfield pivot was Reece James and Moisés Caicedo. The attacking midfield trio was Alejandro Garnacho in the left wing. The attacking midfield was Enzo Fernandez. The right wing was Pedro Neto, and up front was João Pedro. I mean, that selection, in my opinion, I say, what is this? Why do we want to go and sit back and defend? But no, that wasn't the case. Chelsea was over Tottenham from start to finish. I mean, the midfield duo of Reece James, who plays as the number 6, given Moisés Caicedo that liberty to actually push forward was amazing. Reece James was rock solid in that defensive midfield role, which he was actually appointed to play by the manager. It was an absolute beauty from every department of the game. Marc Cucurella, excellent footballer, not giving Mohamed Kudus any chance to penetrate that particular wing. I mean, Chelsea was all over Tottenham Hotspur. Robert Sanchez, kudos to him. The only time he was called to action was that shot from Rodrigo, and that was the only save Robert Sanchez actually made in that particular encounter. Chelsea was blazing all round, from the defense line to the midfield to the attack line. Chelsea was absolute phenomenal. The game was excellent. Coming from that defeat against Sunderland, Chelsea came up with a superb performance against Tottenham Hotspur. I wasn't surprised because in my preview I said it. I said Chelsea is going to defeat Tottenham Hotspur by 3-2. I expected a goal rush game, but then Chelsea defense line was rock solid, not giving Tottenham that opportunity to even create or play any shot in that particular encounter. They only had one shot on target, and that was in the first half of that particular encounter. And Chelsea was all over the place. In the first half, the statistics actually said it all. Chelsea, in the first half, had 6 attempts at goal with 4 shots on target, while Tottenham Hotspur only had 2 attempts at goal with 1 shot on target. Coming into the second half of that particular encounter, Chelsea had 9 shot attempts at goal in the second half of that game. 9 shot attempts at goal, and Tottenham Hotspur had only 1. Total shot attempts at goal in that particular encounter, Tottenham Hotspur had 3, while Chelsea had 15. The statistics said it all. Chelsea had 9 shots on target, while Tottenham Hotspur had only 1 shot on target in the whole of 90 minutes of that game. It was absolute class by Chelsea. The defense line, the way Wesley Fofana was actually winning the area duels, that was something we have been missing over games. Chelsea, what I saw yesterday was absolute class. The way Chelsea performed, from the defense line to the attack line, the connectivity, the synergy among the players was top notch. The synergy, the connection, the link up of play was top notch. That is what we are always expecting. We the fans, we are just like Oliver Twist. We always want more. But in a situation where the team put up a superb performance, we have to praise the team that they have done well. And in a situation where the way they actually performed shambolically, we have to call them out. Just like what happened in the game against Sunderland. Chelsea was very shambolic. We were flat-footed, and that was why Sunderland get away with all 3 points at Stamford Bridge. But in the London derby against Tottenham Hotspur, it was an absolute class from the players. The performance, the connection, the teamwork, it was amazing. Chelsea was just all over Tottenham Hotspur, and we got that all needed 3 points, because it was all needed 3 points in order to still keep our season on track. That was what we went for at the White Hart Lane, and indeed, London became blue. Chelsea was all over Tottenham Hotspur. João Pedro, wow, excellent, but not clinical enough to actually get the finish line. João Pedro would have scored nothing less than 4 goals against Tottenham Hotspur last night. But I think Tottenham Hotspur have Vicario, their goalkeeper, to actually thank, because it would have been lots of goals against the White Londoner. And Vicario made 8 saves in that particular game. 8 saves in that particular game for Tottenham Hotspur last night, while Robert Sanchez was having a fun field day in between the stick for Chelsea, as he managed to add only 1 save in that particular game. That shows the defense line we all have been crying about went about doing their job excellently. There was no mistake. Like I said earlier, all the dwells, the crosses, the way Robert Sanchez was picking up all the crosses whenever he comes in, it was amazing. It was beautiful to see. The way Wesley Fofana was winning area duels was absolute top notch. That is what we have been missing in the back line since the beginning of the season, because winning area duels have actually been our problem. But last night against Tottenham Hotspur, there was no mistake in any department of the field from Chelsea players. Marc Cucurella take away Mohamed Kudus from that particular encounter. Malo Gusto, absolutely. Sometimes you couldn't even tell if Malo Gusto is the one playing the right back or is the one pairing up with Moisés Caicedo in the midfield pivot. Malo Gusto and Reece James, the understanding, the connectivity, the connection was top notch. They actually understood what they were in that particular game. Wow, Moisés Caicedo is just the best, is currently the best midfielder in the Premier League. Box-to-box midfielder, I must say. You can take that to the bank. If you want to argue it and drop your thoughts down below in the comment section. Moisés Caicedo was a beast for Chelsea all through that particular game. Look at how he actually won that ball. Look at the tackles. From the center, from almost at the halfway from the center Tottenham Hotspur box, he won the game, won it the second time, full of energy, full of passion, pushing and going till he get that needed assist to João Pedro. And João Pedro at the 34th minute nailed it. And that was how Chelsea got the first goal in that particular game. Courtesy of the effort from Moisés Caicedo. Moisés Caicedo was such a beast. put up the man of the match performance. I wasn't surprised that he was named man of the match in that particular encounter. Moisés Caicedo, man, is such a gift and a blessing to the Chelsea midfield. And if you want to argue it, you can argue it for all I care. Moisés Caicedo, I watched yesterday, is a box-to-box midfielder. He scores goals like an attacking midfielder. He defends very well in his primary duty, and that was just what we saw yesterday. Pedro Neto, Alejandro Garnacho, all of them putting pressure in that attack line to punish the Tottenham Hotspur defense line, and that was just one thing we always want to see, not going forward and trying to come back. The only thing we didn't get right was our clinical finishing. We were not clinical in front of goals. Like I said earlier, Chelsea would have buried Tottenham Hotspur with nothing less than 5 goals to nothing. All thanks to their goalkeeper, Vicario, for putting up an excellent performance. But then, Chelsea was class. It was a tactical masterclass by Enzo Mareska, putting up that selection, and the players, everybody actually understood the tactical approach of that particular game. I mean, the midfield, Chelsea collected the midfield from Tottenham Hotspur with the pairing of Reece James, Moisés Caicedo, and Enzo Fernandez, like I said in my preview. And that was just what happened. Whoever wins the midfield definitely will win the game. And that was what Chelsea did. Chelsea outclassed Tottenham Hotspur in every department of the game. From the start to finish, it was absolute class by Chelsea, and kudos to the boys for having such wonderful performance. Now, there are some key talking areas in that particular game. Rodrigo Bentancur should have been sent off on that stand on Reece James, but then I don't know what the VAR and the on-field referee took in that made that particular decision. Bentancur should have been sent off for a red, but they ended up saying it's a yellow card. The same thing happened when Chelsea were to take the first corner. What a wrestling we saw in the Tottenham goalpost when Wesley Fofana was brought down as if we were watching WWE. Nothing, no penalty was awarded, no foul was given. What a game it was. But in all, I love the fact that Chelsea went to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with a purpose. And that purpose is what we represent. And what do we represent? Winning is our aim. And that was what we went to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to actually be. Chelsea was top-notch from start to finish. Absolutely amazing. It was beauty to see. That is just what we are always clamoring for. That is just what, as a fan, we are always looking for. And that is our identity. We went to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium just to make a statement. And that statement was to let them know that winning is our identity. And that is what we represent. And it was done in an emphatic way with such a beauty to see. Chelsea was a class last night against Tottenham Hotspur. But then, we should learn to always take our chances and bury game when needed. Because one goal, in most times, is not in most cases, it's not guaranteed that you will win. But Chelsea defense line were equal to the task yesterday. Their focus, their concentration was on a very high level. And Chelsea got all 3 points, keeping a clean sheet in the process in that particular encounter. What do you make of Chelsea win last night at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? Drop your thoughts down below. Thank you very much for watching, and catch you in my next video.